Good morning. Today is January 10th, 2026, and you're listening to That's Old News, the daily download making old headlines hot again. I'm your host, Ainsley Harvey, and as always, we're looking at what went down on this day in history, which means we are rewinding it all the way back to January 10th, 49 BC, which just so happens to be one of my favourite days in history. Because today is the day that Julius Caesar does the unthinkable and crosses the Rubicon River, declaring civil war on Rome. The famous boundary divided Caesar's province with Roman Italy, and any crossing of it was considered a direct violation of Roman law. Caesar knew it, saw it, and crossed it anyway, officially triggering civil war. Meanwhile, in 1810 today, French church authorities annulled the marriage of Napoleon Bonaparte and Empress Josephine, who failed to provide the tragically temperamental emperor with a son and heir. Napoleon and Josephine remained close even after his second marriage to Marie Louise, Archduchess of Austria. Speaking of empires, this day in 1870 is the day that the Standard Oil Company was created by John D. Rockefeller. Controlling about 10% of world oil during the Gilded Age, the company held a massive monopoly on oil refinement, making Rockefeller and his dynasty one of the wealthiest families on planet Earth. On the subject of the Gilded Age, one of its great ladies made quite the display of herself on this day in 1917 by carrying out the first protest outside the White House. Led by the National Women's Party, Alva Belmont, formerly Alva Vanderbilt, stood with her fellow suffragettes, dubbed the Silent Sentinels, to protest for women's rights. Alva also is the inspiration for Mrs. Russell in The Gilded Age, and, shameless plug, I wrote about her in my brand new book, Sisters of Scandal, if you want to know more. Fast forwarding nearly 60 years and we land on January 10th, 1971, where French fashion designer Coco Chanel dies at aged 87. Famous for her designs, which have adorned the most famous and fashionable during the 20th and 21st centuries, Chanel is remembered as a true force in global fashion. But she is also clouded in scandal, with her association and indeed direct involvement with Nazi intelligence services being declassified in recent years. Today is also the day in 2016 that music legend David Bowie passed away, and the day that Prince Harry dropped his tell-all memoir, Spare, in 2023. And that's old news from this day in history. I'm Ainsley Harvey, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.